Bill O'Reilly here. Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening across our nation. Big rise in inflation. Pro-democracy protests erupt in Cuba. Mayor de Blasio rejecting the CDC's mask guidelines for students. Homicides in D.C. hit a record high. Cartel violence in Mexico causing vegetable shortages in America. And a new study ranking the worst tippers in the country. Also ahead, Black Lives Matter, 8 years old. But first, a report today says inflation was up 5.4% in June, the worst number in 13 years. This is very bad news for the Biden administration. Thousands of Cubans marching for their freedom. The communist regime quickly cutting internet access for the entire country to prevent activists from organizing. Despite videos showing starving locals screaming for democracy, the U.S. State Department at first said the unrest was caused by COVID, which is bull. New York City Mayor de Blasio rejecting the CDC's recommendations that vaccinated students and teachers be allowed to attend classes mask-free. Said de Blasio, quote, "For now, we're sticking with the idea that wearing the masks is a smart thing to do in schools." The Big Apple, the nation's largest school district, more than 1.1 million students, and one of the most chaotic, largely because of de Blasio. The nation's capital, marking a sad milestone this week after it recorded 100 murders by July 10th, the earliest the city has hit that number since 2003. The D.C. Police Union says the city usually hits 100 killings in October. Violent crime up 30% nationwide. Drug-fueled violence in Mexico sparking a shortage of produce in some American grocery stores. Supplies of avocados, fruit, vegetables, and coffee all down as the border crisis spirals out of control. Each year, the USA imports more than $23 billion in agricultural products from Mexico. A survey published by creditcard.com says younger Americans are bad tippers. According to the study, Generation Z, that's 18 to 24-year-olds, leave the least amount of money. Just 58% say they tip waiters and waitresses at sit-down restaurants. That figure stands at 90% for baby boomers, who obviously have more money, but come on. Generosity is important in any age group. In a moment, Black Lives Matter, 8 years old. Right back. To mark 20 years since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is giving 200 mortgage-free homes to America's heroes and their families. What a great gesture. And in a moving tribute, the foundation CEO, Frank Siller, will spend August to September 11th walking from the Pentagon to Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and then on to Ground Zero. Thanks to your support, the Towers of Light are to return to the sky at the Pentagon and the Shanksville memorials. On September 12th, those lost to 9/11 related illness will be honored. And on Veterans Day, those lost to the War on Terror are having their names read aloud. Both events are happening for the first time. So please honor our vow to continue to never forget, to do good, and please act now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Today is the day Black Lives Matter was organized in 2013. 3 women, Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi, created a black-centered political movement after the acquittal of George Zimmerman in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. That was in Florida, as you may remember. The Black Lives Matter Foundation, now a global organization, USA, UK, Canada, other places, whose mission is to eradicate white supremacy and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on black communities by the state and vigilantes. That's a quote. The BLM Foundation is also a self-proclaimed Marxist group. Nevertheless, Black Lives Matter donations are through the roof. About $100 million in 2020 given to the group. Companies donating: Nike, Disney, AT&T, Delta, Coca-Cola, many others. A poll last December from Pew says, quote, a majority of U.S. adults now express at least some support for the movement, but the 55% number is down from 67% in June 2020. So BLM is losing popularity. Founder Patrisse Cullors had to resign 2 months ago after journalists found out she was buying multi-million-dollar real estate in California. For a Marxist, that was a head-turner. The problem, generally speaking, about Black Lives Matter is the militancy of the organization. It is dividing Americans over skin color. Now, there should be reform and an awareness of the African American circumstance in the USA. Sometimes blacks are not treated fairly. The pursuit of happiness in America should be equal. Most good people would agree with that. But Black Lives Matter seeks to tear down the entire American structure and impose a new totalitarian regime. And that's dangerous to every American. We simply cannot have the most powerful nation on earth, a place where more people can seek opportunity than anywhere else on the planet. We simply cannot have the system that provides that opportunity destroyed. We also can't have violence. And Black Lives Matter provocateurs have fostered violence all over the country. When you have a demonstration, for example, in New York City, where the chant is, cops, pigs, fry 'em like bacon, when you have people en masse chanting that, that's violence. You can't have it. Yet the media accepts the Black Lives Matter militancy, and that's why we see it. But Americans are catching on here. Not only is the group Marxist, not only do they want to tear down all American traditions, but they are profiting financially. At least Ms. Cullors did, and that will be the real signature of BLM. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. For more honest news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com. In a moment, something you might not know. Are you looking for your next investment? Bill O'Reilly here. There are 7 reasons to look at the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized. Bonuses to 21% targeted. They strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people want to move to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk. Their short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns right now. NRIA is an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. So, if you've been sitting on the sidelines or want to diversify, start your due diligence at nria.net. Or you can call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 156 years ago this month, the Treasury Department formed a new security agency to, quote, detect persons perpetrating frauds against the government, unquote. Early targets included alcohol smugglers, the Ku Klux Klan, and counterfeiters printing illegal money. The group was named for their clandestine operations in the aftermath of the Civil War. The Secret Service. Here's the story. The agency was formed in July 1865, right after the Civil War, as law and order unraveled in the southern states and criminals ran wild in major northern cities. By 1894, the Secret Service began part-time protection of President Grover Cleveland after he was threatened. 7 years later, following the assassination of President William McKinley, Congress requested Secret Service protection for all future presidents. By 1902, the agency assumed full-time responsibility for ensuring the security of the commander-in-chief. Before that, only two men were assigned full-time to the White House. 100 years after its founding, the Secret Service would be tasked with protecting the president, vice president, president-elect, former presidents, and their families. Now, the service has 8,000 employees, 3,000 special agents, 120 field offices, and 20 sites in foreign countries. The annual budget for the Secret Service, $3 billion, big ticket item. To this day, just one member of the service has died protecting the president. On November 1st, 1950, two Puerto Rican nationalists stormed the house that President Harry Truman was renting while the White House underwent renovations. In the attempt to kill Mr. Truman, the terrorists shot a member of the Secret Service 3 times. And here's something else you might not know. The origin of the Secret Service is just plain sad. The legislation authorizing the agency was signed by President Abraham Lincoln on April 14, 1865. He was shot and killed by John Wilkes Booth just 8 hours later because he had terrible protection at Ford's Theater. You can read all about that in my book, Killing Lincoln. Back after this. Thousands of animals are abandoned in the wilderness in America, and they need your help. I partnered up with Delta Rescue, the largest no-kill, care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. Founded by actor Leo Grillo, Delta Animal Sanctuary is a one-of-a-kind rescue. Trained attendants look after each animal, providing them with food, treats, toys, and affection. Also, Delta Rescue has an on-site animal hospital that operates 365 days a year, and unlike others, Delta Rescue believes in giving animals a right to life. They allow all moms to have their litters, then care for the entire family for life. Delta Rescue relies solely on donations from people like us to help fulfill their mission. Support Delta Rescue and put your legacy to work. Delta's tax-saving estate planning. Grow your estate while letting your compassion for animals live on well into the future. Learn more at deltarescue.org/bill. deltarescue.org/bill. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.